So, good evening, everyone. My name is Camille Katigbak, Board Chair of the Filipino Chamber of Commerce, Alberta, or the FCCA in short. And on behalf of the FCCA, I would like to welcome you to our webinar, Pivoting During Pandemic. We appreciate you taking your time out of your busy days to join in and listen to the multiple dialogues of three speakers talking about their grit, creativity, and their resilience. First, let me begin by recognizing that the Filipino Chamber of Commerce strives to continuously connect open-minded, small to medium-sized businesses in the Filipino Canadian business community through the means of collaboration, contribution, and meaningful connections. And when we host events like this, we hope to emulate those same practices and values. I will now give the floor to Amy, our marketing director, who will discuss more about the statistics of the pandemic and how it has not only affected the general public, but also businesses throughout Alberta. And she will also go through the layout of this webinar. Amy?
Hi guys, this is Amy. I am the Marketing and Communications Director of the FCCA. I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight in our free webinar. And we are excited to have you on tonight. So I'm going to share my screen for a few seconds here. And I just have a little bit of a report to show you guys. It's not very long, but so this is our little presentation. So everyone can see my screen. So basically my report today is basically about the business closures due to as a result of the pandemic. So the report basically is reflective of from March 2020 to July 2020. So the source that I have here is from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business. And from the article in July 29, 2020, Alberta average for small businesses at risk of closure is the highest in Canada at 32,500 business closures. And Alberta also has the highest rate in the country at 19% of small business actively considering bankruptcy or winding business, says the Alberta Provincial Affairs Director. So if you guys want the link further about this article that we pulled out, I will have it ready for you guys at the end of this webinar. And also another article basically is also stating that the COVID-19 pandemic caused significant spike in Alberta businesses closure, which also was based on the Statistics Canada using the same source that CFIB or the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses have basically reported in, so that was from the Calgary Herald. And then currently, as of October 21st, this is our COVID-19 cases in Alberta. So as you can see here, in Alberta as a whole, we have 23,402 confirmed cases as of October 20th, right here. And then we have over 3,000 active cases. In the Calgary zone alone, we have 10,566 confirmed cases. And thankfully, we have 9,257 recovered cases, and basically 5 in the intensive care, and a total of 135, unfortunately, deaths in Calgary during the pandemic. So this is pulled out basically from the source of the Alberta COVID-19 data, which is also available in alberta.ca, and we could provide this link to you guys as well at the end of our webinar. So that's my share on our COVID-19 cases and updates for the businesses. So stop sharing. So basically, The next one basically is the speaker's introduction. And I will pass the baton to Brian Morales now.
Thank you so much, Amy. We've been working together for a while and we got to know each other working through the chamber and other endeavors. And she's always got a lot of energy for us. And I'm so happy to be working together with Amy. Thank you all for coming to attend. I see we got 27 participants today on the webinar, and we'll get right into the meat and potatoes, or the adobo for Filipino, right into the adobo today. We have some very special speakers. We've got 3 incredible speakers from the industry. 2 of them launched during this pandemic and really pivoted. But I'm going to introduce, first of all, our first guest, Rochelle Gatos. She's got over 2 decades, 20 years of experience in the industry in different leadership roles, from finance and consulting. And she's going to talk to us about what she does. And just to reiterate what Amy was saying, the risk of businesses that are about to shut down in Alberta, it's like every single citizen in Cochrane going bankrupt. Like that's the gravity of the situation. But what we're happy to do as a chamber is to show stories of hope, and that these stories, we want to kind of change the dialogue and show you guys, hey, there are people who are pivoting and there are good stories here in the community. And we're lucky to have Rochelle with us today, because she's actually the founding partner of Sistema 365. She does a lot of IT and HR consulting for businesses and helps them get through this pandemic. And she's here with us today. I'm gonna invite Rochelle to come on board with us and explain for you guys how she can help us as a community and what she's done to pivot. So Rochelle, please come to the stage virtually, and we'll have a quick chat.
Hi, Brian. Thank you. So hi, everyone. I'm Rochelle. I'm the Director of Implementation Services of Sistema Solution and Sistema 365. So what we do, our company, we help small and medium businesses update their system. So we help them with their, business process, and we identify what's the gap for them to grow further, right? So by using that, like we implement software like Microsoft software, and then we're there to help them out, identify the details of what they are missing in their business, right? And yeah, because most of the businesses right now, they are not aware that they are actually growing until they identify and someone tell them, okay, this is the processes that you need to do, and you need a system to identify what you are missing, right? So we're there for the companies to help them navigate in any changes. For example, like what is happening right now during pandemic. So most of the company now is, most of them became digitalized. Like they work remotely. Most of the employees work remotely, right? So yeah, so that's where we enter. So that's where Sistema Solution enter, helping the companies how to move forward, and especially during the any changes like this pandemic, right? So
Thank you, Rochelle. Yeah, so that brings up some very good questions. Because of the pandemic, I would guess that the strongest companies are the ones that survive through this tough time. But then it also really shows you the pool of candidates that we can support to have solutions to go in this digital age. One of the questions that came up was, since the beginning of the pandemic, has your competition increased in your industry?
yeah, exactly. And then like we need as a company, we need to navigate and strategize, right? Because like in Canada, there's a lot of like IT solution company and Microsoft partner. So but however, in Alberta, it's only a few of us, right? So that's why we strategize like even before, our target is Alberta market, right? And of course, Calgary, one of our focus. And then yeah, like when it comes to competition, how we stand out is our company is very agile. Like like we we have like this personalized services that basically like we to help the company identify what they need, right? So the competition is really big, like especially like when it comes to like a company that who wants like how you call this, like the company that who wants to their employees to work remotely, right? So and how we do it is like we build our marketing, we strategize with like being active in social media, right? And then identify the items that we need to adjust as a company.
So that actually, thanks, Rochelle. That brings up a good question that I think a lot of people are thinking about now. Since we're going virtual, and you mentioned that you're targeting social media, have you put more resources, time, and money in that, and have you seen a return?
Yes, actually, like we're one of the lucky this year actually we're one of the lucky companies that during pandemic like we are actually growing. Yeah, it's amazing, and
Awesome.
it's unbelievable. Like this year we for to sum it all, like we actually hire like eight resources, additional eight resources, and
Wow.
yeah. So and then we have two marketing who's helping us. Yeah, so they are the ones specializing handling, what that's their expertise. Yeah, and they are so good on what they are doing. So I believe like like yeah, for the changes of each company, like you need to have a very strong marketing. Mhm.
That's really really inspiring to hear. So that you can say your business has expanded and your team has grown by eight. You said you had eight new team members.
Yeah, eight new team members, and we're actually still hiring. So
Wow. So actually, since we're here, maybe you can share with the audience. We have 29 people here today. Maybe you can explain very briefly what kind of talent you're looking for, or how you can help the community here.
well, like so how we operate is we are remotely operating. So most of our resources actually, most of them 60% were in the Philippines, right?
Wow.
So how I help the we help the Filipino community is yeah, during this year, this pandemic, we actually hire people back home that they actually lose their job, right? So five of them,
Amazing.
they've been laid off from their company that they've been working for 5 and 10 years already. And yeah, so our industry, the Microsoft community is very small. So we know each other, and like basically we just need to get out there and then look and check especially in the Philippines, there's a lot of resources there, and that we can get. So it's actually difficult to find a resources who specialize with our industry here in Canada. So that's why we need to go outside, and then yeah, back home. Most of them, yeah, so they are working Canada time, and our client doesn't. Most of them doesn't actually know that they were in
Wow.
the Philippines, because Filipinos, they are how we talk, and then how we communicate were excellent, right?
Yeah, you would never know. Like when I call TELUS and different companies, I find out later it's in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So what kind of title or education are you looking for? Because I'm sure in this audience there's somebody that knows, possibly somebody in the Philippines, and maybe we can connect with you, Rochelle.
Yeah, so yeah, we're looking for someone that has an IT background and accounting background, but basically someone who
Beautiful.
knows had an experience in ERP system, or like Microsoft Dynamics Business Central. So it's
Just
very
for
specialized.
very
It's very
specialized. Okay.
specialized. Yeah, but we
Okay.
there's a lot of there's you'll be amazed, Brian. There's more there that actually like available. So
I
yeah, so
believe
in
it.
case someone there is looking for an opportunity, so we're here to help out. And then yeah, you can message me, or like message
Beautiful.
FCCA for that.
Perfect. Yeah, just as an aside, so if you guys are interested in connecting with Rochelle, we're gonna put everyone's information from the webinar today in an email, but also in the chat. I believe we can put links to that. And if not, you can reach out to one of the chamber members, or you can find us on LinkedIn, and a lot of us are also on Facebook with the same names. Thank you, Rochelle. I know I can go on and on about that, but we do have two more guests.
Okay.
I'm gonna thank you very much, and we'll definitely chat soon, hopefully in person.
All right. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you, Rochelle.
Okay.
We get to move on to another member in our community who actually works with us on the board for governance. Recently came on. His name is Joel Pagkatipunan, and he started his law office of Joel Pagkatipunan here in Alberta 2020, but he's got tons of experience. He was a lawyer graduate in 2007, and he passed the bar in 2009. He not recently, a decade ago, moved to Canada, and they opened the firm just this past summer in July 2020. And so I would like Joel to please come on for the chat. Forgive us for the learning experience here. We're trying to put Joel up on the screen. Just give me a second. I think I got support there. More here. Spotlight. There we go. Thanks, Camille or Mick. I think Mick, you're doing that. Hi, Joel. Welcome to the chat. We've got an audience here of 30 today, and then we're going to put this up available for people to see if they want to watch this later. And again, a gentleman with a lot of experience in the law practice. And if you could just quickly share with everybody how we can help, or how you can help the community here, and your expertise in law.
Thank you, Brian. So as he mentioned, my name is Joel Pagkatipunan, and I just opened my own law firm this summer, and it's called the Law Office of Joel Pagkatipunan. I know it's very creative. So just a little bit of background about myself. I graduated law in the Philippines in the Ateneo de Manila University and passed the bar exam in 2009. I also have an undergraduate degree of political science from De La Salle University. I know they're competing schools in basketball. So anyway, I migrated to Canada in November 2010, and initially worked in an insurance brokerage company, real estate investment trust company, and eventually in a law firm as a legal assistant. Around 2016, I started doing my equivalencies and challenged the exams to be a lawyer. I finished my exams around 2017. And then after that, I articled in 2018 at Rideout Baron, which specializes in litigation, Wilson Estates, and residential real estate. So during my articling, I realized that the need and importance of not only businesses, but also of individuals of having their estate plan in place. On a personal level, I realized the importance of having a will when my wife and I were gonna travel to Toronto without our son. And then a colleague of hers asked if we had already a will in place, and we said no. So that's when we realized that we should have one in case something happens to us. And it is also the same for us entrepreneurs. We should also have a will in place in case something happens to us. So after that realization, I decided that I will practice wills and estates, residential real estate, and corporate law. My goal is to provide a personalized service to my clients, as well as to educate, especially the Filipino community, as to the importance of having an estate plan in place. So that's me in a nutshell, but quickly, I'd like to take this opportunity to acknowledge my friends, especially the ones in the Philippines. I know you guys are out there. Thank you for attending. I know it's super. So if you need any legal assistance in the Philippines, I have friends who are equally competent. So just let me know if you need anything.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing, Joe. I didn't know we were crossing that many time zones. Welcome, Philippines. I didn't know we had some of you here. Thank you for coming to attend. That's great. I also want to acknowledge also your wife Anna. You guys recently had a baby girl, 2 months now. Congratulations.
Mhm. She's
And there's
downstairs.
that. She's the, she's quiet. I don't hear her. So that is actually a great segue into the question that we have for you today. When you started doing estate planning and planning in general for businesses, you said that patience is key. How far do you recommend a new entrepreneur, since especially you started in the midst of the pandemic and lockdown? How far ahead do you recommend a new entrepreneur plans for their new business startup?
I think, Brian, it depends on what kind of business you're planning to start. In my situation, I planned to set up my own firm while I was in the middle of my articles last year. So that was around spring of 2019. At first, I was planning in opening up the firm early 2020, but then the pandemic happened. Everything came to a standstill. So I decided to postpone launching it and instead concentrating in the more admin work, such as preparing my permits, setting up the office, and actually reading more materials about my practice area. So when the economy was slowly opening, that was when I formally opened my firm and actually started accepting clients. So I think it really depends on how far ahead one should plan to open their business. But I do suggest that when opening a business, one should plan it very carefully. Make sure you talk to professionals, talk to other people who have the same experience. This is very important. Do financial planning, involve yourself in the community to immerse yourself and be known to other people. So that's like just marketing, and definitely have faith in yourself. So the first few days, months, or maybe years might be difficult, but always think that it will get better as you go along.
Thanks, Joel. That's a good segue again to a question that we were thinking about. When you're looking for good mentors or associations in launching your business, how do you select good mentors? How do you know that they're a good choice? How do you know that they're good counsel for you?
Um, Having a good mentor is necessary, I think, for our growth, which will either increase your chances to get a promotion or maybe increase your success in business. It is always nice to have someone who we look up to in terms of success. To me, there are certain factors that I look up to in finding a mentor. I think number one, the person has to have integrity and reputation in the community. So the mentor that I look up to are people who has a great reputation and it's known for integrity not only in the business community but also in general. Second, the mentor should have the same views and aspirations like yours. So this can be difficult to look for, but as long as you have the same outlook and go along with each other, then I think it will eventually work. The third is the mentor should be a good listener. I think they should be able to understand your situation, where you are coming from, in order for them to be able to provide proper advice and show you the right path, basically. And I think last, the mentor that you should be looking for is the one who should be challenging you. So because this takes you out of your comfort zone and explore other possibilities in approaching a situation. So the mentor should be able to extract your full potential as this increases your success in the business.
Perfect. Okay. So if you guys are taking notes out there, I have one, integrity and reputation. Two, similar philosophies that you guys share. Three, it's a good listener. He's a good listener or she's a good listener, which means an ego that's in check, I would believe, right? And four, somebody that stretches you, that challenges you along the way. That's super helpful. So here's a little bit of self-promotion. Do you think the Filipino Chamber of Commerce Alberta is a good place to find mentors?
Uh, One of the reasons why I joined FCCA is that I saw people there that I think could be a good role model for, especially in business. There are people there who are very experienced. There are people there who has good reputation in the community. I know I'm just still new, but I've talked to some people there, and I think they are very capable of helping other people, especially those ones starting up, or those young people who are either starting in their careers or starting a business. I think FCCA is a good place to find um, a good mentor, uh,
Mhm.
business-wise or even on a personal level.
Mhm. Perfect. Thank you, Joel. And we always appreciate your support. So if you guys have any questions, it's a good resource to have. And if you're thinking about starting up, it's very important to have a lawyer. And so Joel and his wife Anna actually are very available. We're also going to have their information available to you guys. And right after we do these question portions, we're going to do a Q&A. I'm going to now invite a super duo, a power couple, dynamic duo here. I'm going to ask Camille or Mick if you can have them on the spotlight video so everyone can see them. Okay, well, we can start with me. Sure. They are the owners of Chat Time Marda but their business experience is much larger than that. So if you live in the Calgary area, you can go visit their location in Chat Time Marda and they opened that franchise 1 week before the lockdown started here in Calgary. So they've got a lot of experience of launching a business during the pandemic and pivoting in this kind of in this kind of environment. But they've also owned poultry businesses. They've owned cell phone and garment businesses. They launched and they moved here in 2006 in Canada, and they have a bookkeeping business as well. And they have the unique distinction of being a married couple who started a business. So we have good questions for them. It's my pleasure to be introducing to you Jane and Clinton Bedar.
Hi.
Jane and Clinton, Clinton, can you just quickly explain? We know you have a lot of experience, but maybe explain a little bit about what kind of franchise Chat Time is right now and how it works through the community.
Hi everyone. So my name is Clinton. This is my beautiful wife. This is Jane.
Hello.
So I hope everybody's doing okay. So pretty much Chat Time is in the bubble tea business. So we sell, bubble tea and also food. Yeah, that's pretty much. It's just I would say a chain of
food chain
of
which
bubble
originated in Taiwan.
Yeah, that's pretty much it for that. It's pretty simple.
Pretty straightforward.
Thank you. I love it. You guys are back and forth. I love the dynamic duo. So I'm gonna jump right into the emotional question. We did survey you guys earlier, and we had some of your responses. And one of the quotes you shared with us, Jane, was that when you start a business, you have to be emotionally, mentally, and physically committed 101% to your business. But you also have the distinction of launching a business as a married couple. Any advice for couples out there looking to launch a business together?
You want to define your roles. Okay, you can't. You have to have separate roles, and also it's always a good thing to listen to your spouse, because you're not always correct. You need to have a second pair of eyes, so to speak. So
we have our own roles, our shoes to wear when we're working as a team. And we are also open to criticisms, or open to on how to get things, or good feedbacks and stuff like that. And in the end, it will also help you and operate better, more efficient, and which is 100% would be better for the company.
Okay, so now I'm imagining a future where if that were to happen with me and my future wife, so to speak, we were to launch a business. Do you guys, when you go home and you're with your kids and you're talking business, is there a distinction? Do you have your business hat and then you take it off when you get home? How do you guys manage home life?
You can't avoid it. You will have to talk business at the table. To the point that my kid's actually trying to sell something with her classmate. Is making $1
Amazing.
from the things she's selling them. So it's just the way it is. You tell them how to, how to do business. What's the purpose of profit? What's the purpose of cost? And then at early age, they tend to learn about it.
Yeah, so we got home today, and my youngest daughter, who is 9 years old, came up to me and said, Mom, I made $6 today. And I said, like, from what? I have a business. I'm partner. I have a business
Oh my
partner.
gosh.
Yeah, just today when we got home tonight. And I said, like, oh, good for you. So tomorrow she said that she's gonna earn another $9. So that actually tells us that we are getting the word out there. There's we can't really like in an open table, especially at dinner time, we would always talk about things that would strategize, would help us especially during pandemic. Right now, you have to be very, very proactive and be, and be more, what would I say it, like
In business, if you wake up, you think about the business. You go to business, you think about it. You go home, you think about it. You sleep, you think about it. You dream about the business. It's just the way it is. I mean, you always try to aspire for efficiency and then, maximum profit, especially right now because of pandemic, right? So it's just the way it is.
That's beautiful. Thank you, for being the example and showing that it can be done harmoniously and with 2 kids. And that's the other thing. I think you're raising little entrepreneurs in your household by example, which is very amazing. And thank you for your guys' example for us. That's an interesting point. I want to kind of focus on the COVID-19 situation. You guys launched it in the middle of a pandemic. Do you think you would have launched differently if we weren't in this situation? Would it have been any different for you guys?
I would have postponed it, in all honesty. Yep. I mean, uncertainty, right? So the thing is, once you launch a business, you want to make sure it's a calculated risk. If we have known there's gonna be a pandemic, I would have postponed it, because you want to have less risk, right? Because business alone is risky, and then you have this pandemic. So knowing it, I would have postponed it. It's me. I'm not sure about you.
Well, we're in it already because we planned it before pandemic, right? So you just gotta do what you gotta do right now to stay in the business. And so far, we've been really, working really hard and strategizing on how to be, and also like focusing more on the marketing side of things, just because with what's going on right now, you have to make sure that you are out there and that people know that you're open, and that focusing more on the marketing side of things worked really well. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Can you, I'm sure there are business owners here in the room today. And is there something you can share, a piece of advice or obstacle that you ran into that you think would really help if there's one piece of information, whether it's through personal development or a business strategy or a tip that you can share with someone here who's also facing the pandemic struggle?
The thing is, business I would say there's 3 principles with business. Number 1 is profit, number 2 is cost, and number 3 is marketing. So you need to maximize profit, you need to lower your cost, and then the one way for you to be able to maximize profit is you have to have a good marketing. So right now, since it's pandemic, the only thing you can do is control is your cost. So you can't control your rent because it's fixed cost, but you can control your labor, your wastage, and also your your minor things. So for the profit, you need traffic. So how can you get traffic? So you need to have a good marketing strategy. So you need to have marketing can be done with Instagram, social media. You can do collab with other
Foodies.
Businesses. You can reach out to groups. You can reach out to schools. You can reach out with them. Tell them you can do a fundraising event. Anything goes. I mean, use your
And
imagination.
connecting with the community.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that's pretty much it. Higher cost, minimum cost, higher profit, or higher sales.
And then on marketing. So the three notes I took down: profit, cost, and marketing. Perfect. Yeah, I'm sure there are people who are struggling with that. If you guys want to reach out to Jane and Clinton, they've got many businesses in the docket, but we'll have their information available for you also at the end of this webinar. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for all the work that you do and for with the chamber especially and the community. We're going to move into the big Q&A portion. We have a lot of people here. We're up to 33 participants in our webinar. If you have any questions for any of the guest speakers today that pertains to you and you think can help the community, or if you want to share a story from your business and how you pivoted and that can help the chamber community here as well, from anywhere in Canada and even in the Philippines, since we are now global, please direct your question to the host. As if you can see in the participant list here is the Filipino Chamber. And I'll read off some questions that we have here that I've been receiving. If you have any questions, you can always message myself or the Filipino Chamber host. And let me pull up these questions here for you guys. Actually, while I'm looking for that, Jane and Clinton, could you share how you guys can help the community if there's something that you want to share with them as as we move forward as a community together? Is there something you want to share with them and how you can help them? Oh.
So basically, on our end, because we're on the retail side, right? So we're not in service. So all we can do at the moment is we can do a collaboration with other businesses, other groups. We're open to that. So that's pretty much what we can offer to the community or to other businesses at the moment.
I also reached out just recently with other schools that we are offering our food or to be like a vendor for their fundraising events. So that's also one thing that we have on our end. Like I've emailed a bunch of schools around the neighborhood, and also we've been also doing a lot of collaboration with the other businesses around Mardalup, just to help with the traffic, and especially for those stores or those kid oriented those there's that Code Ninjas or whatever that we've done a collaboration with. So we were giving like a 10% coupon for kids that are registered in their location. And we've also collaborated with a Pilates gym close by. So we were able to, give like for them to attract traffic because they were just gonna open, because we do feel that, we were on their boat like few months ago. So we felt like we wanted to, give back to them and be able to help them or help the community.
Perfect. So sharing, not necessarily a direct competitor, but someone who shares the same target demographic. I think that's a good, really good piece of advice, especially inside your geographic community, like they do in Mardalup. Thank you, Jane and Clinton. I have some questions here to just get the ball rolling, and then we have Dan, I believe, that wants to share. Dan Monahan, I have you, I see you there. I have a question for Joel. What are you looking forward to the most for your business? So I'll just bring Joel back here in the front.
What am I looking forward to my business?
What are you looking forward to the most for your business? Yeah, as you start to launch and build.
What I'm looking forward to is hopefully and eventually, and I think I will get there, is to grow it grow the firm into a bigger firm, a more successful one, and at the same time helping the Filipino community. And actually, that's one of my main goal in setting this up is to cater to the Filipino community. We all know that there's a lot of Filipinos here who are having a hard time understanding how it works here. It because it's pretty much different, especially like in the financial aspect. Like people doesn't sometimes understand about the like even signing a mortgage or signing a document, getting to a bank, getting a credit card. That's why a lot of people, a lot of Filipinos, there's a lot of people that I know that they went into debt because they thought like they signed in as a co-guarantor in a mortgage, and then the bank is going after them. So it's just those simple things that made me realize that um, I'm blessed that I have that knowledge, and I'd like to share that to the Filipino community. So even to the point like sometimes I'm just giving pro bono advice just to help them out. So hopefully in the future, like I am able to educate the Filipino community, and but at the same time having this business of a firm helping people prepare their estate plan documents or in their real estate uh, transactions, or even like for businesses, even with the corporate matters.
Thanks, Joel. I wish I knew you before I started a business because then I would have had a good experience, I think. So if you guys want to connect with Joel, again, his information will be available below. Now I'll invite Dan Monahan that would like to speak for 45 seconds. Thank you for coming on, Dan. I'm going to just have the spotlight on you here and to introduce yourself to the community. Thanks for hopping on.
I thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you amazing people for taking your time this evening to learn about what's going on. And yeah, anyways, I just wanted to introduce myself. I am Dan Monahan, and I'm very glad that you know that voice you hear sometimes and like it pulls you. It's like, you know, as an entrepreneur, you know what I'm talking about, everybody. I had the most atrocious day today. Why I'm here, I have no idea, but this was somehow I'm here though. There's a reason why. It's because you guys needed to hear me, know who I am. So hi, I'm Dan Monahan. I'm gonna stop talking now. I look forward to connecting with you. I've got amazing things that can help any business, amazing tools, and I want to help all of you. Man, imagine a world that was free from financial burden. Imagine a world that didn't pray for more money to pay for rent or food or businesses not closing. Your passions and your wants, your drivers in life, why you wake up and work. I don't want you to lose that. That's your business. I can't wait to help you win. That's it. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. I actually have a quick question. How did you hear about us? How did you find out about the webinar this evening?
Camila Kadekbak. Yeah, sorry. Thanks to Camila and her husband. So.
Of course, they have a big network. Thanks for sharing, Dan. I have a quick question here that came up for, again, Jane and Clinton. What aspects of your business has changed during the pandemic? I'll just have the spotlight on you guys.
Okay, so that's pretty easy to answer. The main aspect is foot traffic. I mean, it's lockdown. Nobody's going inside. You're having the solar is there, so you need to find a way to bring the product to the customer. But if they're not coming because everybody's scared of the pandemic, I mean, what can you do? So you have to devise a way, plan a way to bring the product to them instead of them going into you. So we came up with a solution: delivery apps. If it wasn't for delivery apps, we're not gonna make it.
So right before the lockdown, Brian, we we got into all the delivery apps. So being proactive again was the main key for us to stay alive, I guess. We were able to get into all the delivery apps, the DoorDash, Uber Eats, and Skip the Dishes, and Fantuan. I remember when I registered with them, we had to wait a couple days before the iPad or the iPad to arrive. And after we got into the delivery apps, all the other businesses were on the wait list. So if we were not proactive about it, or if like, you know, we didn't plan ahead, we would be one of those businesses that would have closed right away because there's no traffic. Like it came to a point where the first 2 days after the lockdown, we didn't have traffic. That like no one would go out. Like streets were like empty. And so being able to you know, plan ahead helped us a lot in terms of our business.
Perfect. So there was this big jump to kind of adopting digital platforms like these services and apps that they have with DoorDash. Was it relatively simple to do DoorDash, Uber Eats, those guys?
No, there was a lot of like back and forth of emails. You have to be very, you know, you have to be constantly calling them because everyone was on a wait list. Like everyone was waiting to get that tablet. And so if we were not really like, you know, aggressive, I guess, if you may say, like, if I may say that we were really like, we had to call them every single time, every day before the lockdown. And so that paid off because we were able to get all those tablets right before the lockdown.
The thing is, you kind of have to forecast. You have to see things in perspective. So you just can't wait until the problem is full blown. If the problem is, if there's a problem developing, you have to act fast. You just can't wait until it's full blown. So when we saw what's going to happen right away before lockdown, we applied right away when nobody was applying for those delivery apps. And then, yeah, we were right. After about a week, lockdown and everything. So yeah, you have to be, I mean, 2 steps forward, I guess.
Forward, yeah.
So ahead, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we were kind of analyzing it on the back end. Like we were thinking, okay, what's gonna happen? Like we were already listening to all the, you know, the news and all that stuff, and we were kind of like maybe, you know, thinking of the worst case scenario. And because we were, you know, thinking ahead, we were able to get all those set up before the closure.
Perfect. Yeah, I think there's a big adoption rate for all this virtual stuff now, that especially with the pandemic. I'm going to have one more question here that we have for Rochelle. Rochelle, I'm going to bring you forward here. Just give me a second. But my question for you is, working remotely, I think a lot of us have been doing that. Working remotely, what has been your biggest challenge?
Yeah, so basically for us, we're all working remotely, right? But one of the biggest challenge is, especially in our industry, we actually need a face-to-face with the client when we're doing a training, right? Because it's still very important to have that, you know, like to see them and then to instruct them what to do, right? When it comes to like services. Yeah, so one of the challenges actually is, you know, especially some of our resources in the Philippines, right? So their connection. So you know, like, you know, the infrastructure, internet connection in the Philippines is not that great. So the way we mitigate that is like, you know, like they work to us remotely during our time, and then there are also some people who works like during their time. So that's why we offer a 24/7 IT support, right? So yeah, so because you never know the type of internet connection and infrastructure there. So we need to be, as Jane was mentioning, we need to be proactive of like with that type of challenges, right? yeah, so not that much, but like basically it's just, because everything is virtual, so we need to be always, online to support our client. So I think that's all.
It's good. It's good to hear that that's the biggest struggle. Yeah, it's good to hear good news like that. Thank you, Rochelle. I want to respect everybody's time here. We're about to hit the 1 hour mark at 7:55, but I do want to shout out some of the people here on the chat. I know we have Stephen Ogok. He's from Testcore Productions that does photography and videography. We've also got Rico and Eileen that has their app developers. They have the Atibapa app. You can go and check that out on your App Store, Android or Apple. And we have Juliet from Mr. Appliance Franchise. And we also have Angelo. We've worked with him before. He's done photography for the Chamber before and many other projects. I've gotten to know him, but I'm going to actually invite him very quickly to talk 20 seconds because he has a promotion going on. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot too much, Angelo, but I'm going to ask you to just share with everybody here if you can help with them through your business. So Angelo, please take the floor.
Am I good? Can you guys see me? I'm not sure because I'm looking at myself on the screen.
No,
anyway,
we got you.
Okay, cool. So I am Angelo. I'm pretty sure we've seen each other or any one of you guys one way or another through events and other FCCA events as well. So I am a wedding photographer based in Calgary, Alberta. I also shoot in Banff National Park, Canmore, all that area there as well. And I do have a promotion. Yes, Brian, you did put me on the spot. So now I am forced to promote it. I have a Christmas minis in the Rockies, what I call it, quote unquote. It's for if you guys are interested in having your family photos done for Christmas or a couple's photo shoot if you want for Christmas. It's essentially a great time to do it, especially in November. I'm going to be starting on November weekends, the 3 weekends of November. And they are scheduled in Lake Minnewanka, the first one, and then, Upper Kananaskis Lake in the first weekend, Lake Minnewanka on the second weekend, and then Vermilion Lakes on the third weekend. And I do still have a lot of spots open. If you guys are interested in that, you can just contact me. I'm pretty sure that my contact details will be in the meeting. But anyway, so that's what it is. Christmas meetings in the Rockies. If you guys are interested for family photo shoots, couples photo shoots, and it'll be right on time for December for, let's say, greeting cards and whatever that you guys choose to do. And yeah, that's about it. I'm not really sure what else I'm supposed to talk about. If you guys have any questions,
that's
Brian,
perfect.
I guess you're mitigating the whole meeting.
Yeah, that's perfect, Angelo.
Yeah.
If you want to see some of his work, I'm sure he has the portfolio up on his on a website here, and we'll put it in the chat. If you want to share that, Angelo, in the chat, they can connect with you.
Sure.
And our most recent chamber photo shoots are from Angelo. So
well, you guys
have a look there.
Redo that one again because it's been a year.
We do. Yeah, we will. And now I'm going to invite very quickly for 15 to 30 seconds. We have Rico, who's this incredibly talented individual. I'm going to ask you, Rico, if you can jump onto the camera here, and I'll have you here. Rico, if you can just share 15 to 30 seconds, and we'd love to hear from what you do.
Hey, yes, good evening, guys, and thank you for having me here, and thank you for giving me time, to speak about, to talk about my business, even though for 15 seconds only. Yeah. So, just want to share to you my new venture. Me and my wife just opened a new business aside from our Zoe Direct Selling and Atibapa Canada mobile app. So during the pandemic, actually this plan supposed to be we are going to open this 2023. So based on our study, so because of this pandemic, we immediately think of opening it instead of 2023, and we called it Nimble Market. So the Nimble Market, we see this this pandemic is giving more opportunity to businesses if they will go online. So what we did is we developed our own platform. So the platform called we called it Nimble Market. So if you are small small, for example, grocery store, pet shop, flower shop, and you don't have that resources to build your own e-commerce. So we developed that, and we have already our delivery app that can be downloadable from Apple Store and Google Map. And also, not only the businesses that have a brick and mortar, we also developing people that have a heart of entrepreneur. And currently, right now, we are not even launched, but we already have like 3 businesses in our platform, and they started their own online grocery in their own basement, and we help them to get their city license. They are fully licensed, and they are licensed by the province. So if you want to visit, if you want to check out our platform, you can go and visit www.nimblymarket.com. And the good thing about that is you can have, or you can order anything from products to whatever grocery within your community. If they join Nimbly, if they join if they sign up for,
They are in the
if they're in
platform.
the platform. So basically, if the person or the customer will search, products or store within their community, then the platform will show them all the businesses that is in Nimbly. So yeah, thank you very much, and good night.
Thank you, Rico. I'm guessing that's your better half there next to you, Eileen.
Yeah.
Another example
Hi,
of
hi
power
everyone.
couples. Thank you for sharing, guys. Camille's put the Sorry, I muted myself. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for sharing. We'll have the link for their Nimbly Market on the side. And now I have the pleasure of introducing our chair, Camille. I've gotten to know her over the years very much, and we've worked together on several different projects outside the chamber and with the chamber. I just really admire her and her family. I always joke with them that when I grow up, I want to be like them. Thank you, Camille. And she's going to close us off here this evening. Thank you, guys. It's been my pleasure to work with you.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. So yeah, guys, this concludes the end of the webinar. We would like to thank our speakers, Rochelle, Joel, Jane, and Clinton, for sharing their experiences and your knowledge during this pandemic, and to all of those who shared during the open discussion portion of this program. Thank you so much for sharing. As a Chamber of Commerce, we always want to ensure that businesses are getting the exposure they need to succeed, especially in our own Filipino community. We want to ensure our kababayans are taken care of, and if they succeed, then we succeed too. So the next time you think about, going to a local business, recognize that within our community, there are already so many business owners. So for example, we had Angelo in photography. We have Ariel Buenaventura, who is a real estate agent if you guys need a house. We have Claire and Marvs, who represent Great Wave Financial. We have Harleen, who's in marketing, and she also started up a podcast called Heart as a Mother with her partner. Definitely check them out on Instagram. We have Juliet Abaldi, who is a franchise owner for Mr. Appliance. We have Rico, who just spoke earlier about his ATBP app and also the Nimbly Market app. We have Amy Lowe, who does marketing and digital design. So if you guys need help with social media, Amy Lowe is your girl. We have Joy Tahanglangit. She does coaching. Lily Beth she represents a private post-secondary school called Alberta Business Health Institute. If you guys know anyone who needs education, definitely reach out to them. We have Dan Monahan, who spoke earlier, who does coaching as well. We have Stephen Ogok and Jillian Cayetano. They represent Tescore Productions, so they do photography and videography. And we also have Curated Life, who Maria represents as well. And also Pacific Hut, Maria Ala is also, Tess is here. So there are many, many, many companies out there, you guys, and I apologize if I couldn't give out a shout out to everyone, but this is why the FCCA is here, so that you guys can come to us, whether you're looking for opportunities to network, whether you're looking to market your business, to collaborate, or you're just simply looking for more clients in business. You know, we have the database and the connections to help your business succeed. And, you know, when we support each other, we rise together. So I just want to thank you guys all again for coming out today. We will have more events in the future, so keep an eye and an ear out. You can follow us on our website at www.filipinochamberalberta.ca, our Facebook and our Instagram, FCC Alberta. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys again. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, and thanks again for tuning in. I hope to see you guys really, really, really soon. Thanks, guys.